Complete insanity. They tried to shoot Trump again. There's no question that this was an assassination attempt again on President Trump, the second one in 2 months. I'm going to go through the latest updates so far as what we know now, and as things break while I'm streaming, I'll share those with you as well. They did get one suspect, and if you've seen that press conference, they arrested him on I-95 in Martin County. Now, I don't know exactly where on I-95 that was. They haven't told us yet, but they have I-95 shut down here. You can't get on I-95. It's shut down, even after they arrested this person. So that tells me that they're thinking that there very well may be others. Martin County is the next county north of Palm Beach County, where Mar-a-Lago is located. So they got one guy off of I-95 northbound in Martin County. Trump's golf course is not far from Mar-a-Lago, but it's not walking distance. It's a drive. It's just south of the Palm Beach Airport, where Trump Force One is located. So, depending where they got him on I-95, the shooter, it would be about a 30-minute drive from where the golf course is located. Now, he could have been driving 150 miles an hour and gotten there a little faster, but we don't know. But it's about a 30-minute drive to where they got him from the golf course. Especially on a Sunday afternoon, there is quite a bit of traffic, but I don't have any information yet on how fast he was going. But they caught him the next county up, which means he got pretty far away. It is not close. Where they got the guy is not close. On a normal day, it would be a 30-minute drive, okay? So, going like 65 on I-95. So it is not close. So not only did the guy get the shots off and drop the AK-47, he got pretty far away before they got him. Now, I'm going to play a clip here of Hannity. He was on Fox earlier and talked to Trump at the time of this 3 times, got a lot of information, and also others that were playing golf and with Trump. And Hannity says that they identified the car from drone footage, and that's how they identified the car. Now, if you're just joining and you don't know what's going on, there's been a second assassination attempt against President Trump. And Hannity here, who spoke to the president 3 times at the time of this clip, and others that were in the golf party, goes through a lot of details. But I want to throw this out first because Charlie Kirk made a very, very good point, okay? And I'm going to share with you what Charlie Kirk posted on X before I play the Hannity clip. And Charlie Kirk asked a couple of incredibly good questions and made a point that I have not heard anyone else make. Listen to this. President Trump's round of golf was not on any public schedule. How did the suspect know Trump was golfing there today? How did he get a semi-automatic rifle so close to the president? That's right. No one. It was not publicly available that he was golfing today, and that comes from Charlie Kirk. So how'd the guy know? I mean, what we're talking about here is this is a plot. It's got to be. How would he know he was there? And when something is not publicly announced and Trump goes somewhere, he goes places all the time, right? He could have been, if you don't know where he's going, he could be going to his golf resort. It's Sunday. He could be going to the church. He could be going anywhere. He could be going to Worth Avenue, which is the fancy shopping area. He could be going to, you don't know where he's going. So there was no way for someone without some type of insider knowledge to know, according to Charlie Kirk, where President Trump was going. Okay, so here's Hannity.
Is President Trump. They were on the 5th hole. They were about to go up to putt. And the way Steve Witkoff, now, just as a little bit of background, Arthel, I happened to go to breakfast with Steve Witkoff and another friend of mine this morning. And I was invited to play golf. They happen to be really good golfers. I don't have a lot of time to play.
Hannity's got breaking news, and it's more important for you all to know that he was invited and turned down the invitation to go golfing with the president today. Oh, my goodness. Oh my goodness! But he does get to some good points.
Golf, so I said thank you, but I'm not going to go out on the golf course and get killed out there. But long story short, so they were playing. They were on the 5th hole, and the way Steve described this, the way the president described it, they both had exactly the same story, which was that they heard pop, 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 pop. And Steve went into great specificity and great detail as to what happened right after. Within seconds, the Secret Service pounced on the president, covered him. You had snipers with tripods. They knew the direction where the shots had been fired, and they had eyes on the location where the shots had been fired. And long story short, they were. I have confirmed with both the president and with Mr. Witkoff that the gun has been found. They identified it as an AK-47, and thanks to Secret Service drone video coverage, they were able to identify one individual involved in this shooting getting into a car after dropping the AK-47. And my understanding, according to both of them, is that that car has been identified, and I believe it's been surrounded. Whether or not that person has been apprehended or not, I don't know. This happened in a matter of seconds. A little more color, a little bit more details on this is that when they got on top of the president, immediately what is called a fast cart that I believe has steel reinforcement and protection was able to whisk the president away. And then the Secret Service immediately sprung into action. They had eyes on where the shooting had occurred. I saw the New York Post report that these were two people shooting at each other outside the course. I do know, and they did confirm that the shots were outside of the course, but certainly seemingly within range of the former president. So we don't have any details on any of that. They don't know that part. I only know the part of what they experienced while they were playing golf at Trump International in West Palm.
Yeah. Okay, they have a suspect in custody, okay, and they're alive. And I'll play the rest of this. But the Secret Service fired at the gunman. The Secret Service fired at the gunman. And I'm here to tell you that it is not easy to, even though it's an open golf course, there's walls around, there's trees around, it is not easy to get to where the president is.
Thankfully, the president is safe. Steve Witkoff is safe. The Secret Service apparently acted with incredible speed and professionalism, and but certainly alarming in every way imaginable in light of what happened in Butler, as you mentioned.
Yeah, of course, this is very alarming. And Sean, have you spoken to the former president or texted with him?
I have spoken with the president 3 times since this incident, and each time I got a new piece of information. One, that they had found, first of all, what happened with the shooting. The second thing, that they had found that AK-47. Third, that their drone footage was able to give them enough surveillance to identify the exact car that the individual involved in this shooting got into. And further detail that they gave me was that they were updated and told that that car had been found, identified, was surrounded by law enforcement. I don't know what happened from there. It could not have been too far away. I would say the time frame was less than a half hour between the time that the shooting actually took place and they identified the car. So
I'm trying to find out, like, how is he doing? That's what we want to know. How is he doing, if you spoke to him?
Well, you really want to know the truth, Arthel? He goes, well, there's more details, because I did hear, and Steve Witkoff was very clear. The first thing the president did when he got back to the clubhouse was make sure that everybody else was okay. He didn't see his golf partner with him. Where's Steve? Where's Steve? Where's Steve? And then Steve says, I'm right here. He got in maybe a few minutes behind the president. The Secret Service was able to get everybody to safety. Everybody else was taken off the golf course. Then when the president found out everybody was safe and nobody had been harmed. I guess in typical fight fashion, Trump said to Steve, and then he related to me, I really wanted to finish the hole. I was even, and I had a birdie putt, and it was on the fifth hole, which shows a lot of I think guts and gumption, and very Trumpian, I guess, in every way. But the good news we can report is that in spite of this being in such close proximity to the president and others and the Secret Service, that they were not harmed, and that they are in safety. And I know the investigation will go forward. Probably more details, I would imagine, as time.
Okay, there it goes. Okay, so we got a lot of information there. And if you're just tuning in, where they've arrested one suspect that they got off of I-95, which is about a 30-minute drive north of where the shooting happened. And the way this is developed today, my wife and I, we were recording our podcast, which we're going to do tomorrow. But we were recording our podcast when this all started breaking. And the original story was it had nothing to do with Trump. Just, they were trying to present it as if it was just some gangbangers in the neighborhood. Don't believe that, because we've gotten a lot. Well, thank you, Christine, for being here. We've gotten a lot of information since. And the information we have is that the Secret Service has fired back. They fired at the person. They wouldn't just randomly fire off shots. Okay? So I don't care what they say in these upcoming press conferences. I don't care what they say. The official reporting that came out about 30 minutes ago was from officials who did say that Trump was the target. And, I'm watching, they had the B team on television over the weekend. I'm flipping between Fox, MSNBC, and CNN. And when this first happened, they immediately wanted you to think that it had nothing to do with Trump. Because they know, this is it. There's been 2 assassination attempts in 2 months. And, we had a bunch of polls come out over the weekend. Massive polls in Trump's favor. Kamala Harris, that solo interview that I went through on the stream yesterday, a complete disaster. And you think it's just a coincidence that there's a second assassination attempt? And if you watch the cable news, this Arthel Neville, she's been on Fox forever. Boy, she hates Trump. All of them on MSNBC, CNN, and Fox. I'm not talking about Hannity. I'm talking about Neville here. They're annoyed. They're annoyed. They don't have a tear in their eye. They have no concern in their heart. They're pissed that he's even more sympathetic. And, the Secret Service fired off shots. This is the second time in 2 months that the Secret Service fired shots. When is the last time the Secret Service fired shots at an attempted assassin? When Hinckley shot Reagan, the Secret Service didn't fire at Hinckley, right? When Kennedy was shot by Oswald and whoever else, the Secret Service did not fire. Okay? Now, I know there's been some incidents at the White House over the years. Janine, $10 super sticker, thank you. I know there's been incidents at the White House over the years. Those don't count, okay? With a president or former president, current president, when is the last time, other than these 2 incidents, off of White House grounds, where the United States Secret Service fired shots? I don't know of it ever happening in my lifetime, ever. Do you? Truman. Yeah, Truman. Yeah, the Puerto Rican nationalist attacked the Blair House. Remember, Truman had the White House remodeled. So he stayed in the guest house of the White House across the street at the Blair House, and Puerto Rican independence nationalist attack. So what year was that? That was 1950 what? Let me see what year that was. At the Blair House. And I think a Secret Service man was killed when that happened, if I remember correctly. There was a uniformed Secret Service agent at the gate. 1950. 74 years ago, right? 74 years. First time that the Secret Service, and that was at the Blair House, that was still on the White House complex, okay? But we'll count it. But that was at the White House complex. So the last time that the Secret Service fired shots was 74 years ago until 2 months ago. And here they did it again. So if they say anything else other than Trump was the target, don't believe it. I don't care what they say. I don't care the background of the person they get. There's I don't believe in coincidences, not like this. And the Truman one was on White House grounds still. So I don't even know if we should count that one, but we will just to make the point. 74 years. But Charlie Kirk has asked what I think the best questions of all. The President Trump golfing was not on his public schedule today. So how did the shooter know he was there and to have a gun? How did he know? How did he know? And exactly. Exactly. Now I know that they're all concerned with comments made about cats or Taylor Swift. But this is beyond imagination. Also, I'll tell you, that area where the golf course is, obviously, Trump Golf Course is nice. That area is nice. You know, we're talking about during the day, on a Sunday afternoon, this happened. Okay? You know, that's some risky stuff. In the daytime. And whoever it was, they'll give us the information at some point on who it was. We'll be getting that soon. I'm monitoring. They knew how to get out of there, and they knew which way to go. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to look and see the latest here on Twitter. Hold on, guys. Yeah. On X, whatever we're going to call it today. So I'm looking at the photograph. Yeah, this is northbound I-95. And the sheriff from Martin, see, when they had the press conference, I was very surprised. They announced the press conference was going to be from the Martin County Sheriff. I was like, what, Martin County? That's the next county up, and it's pretty far up. You know, Palm Beach is a big county. It's bigger. It's big. I live in Palm Beach County. And I was thinking of going up there and live streaming from up there, but then I thought, well, you know, there's a lot of security. I probably wouldn't get too close anyway. And then they came out and said that I-95 was closed. It was closed. Halo Pro, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. The I-95 was closed when the county sheriff came out and had his press conference. It was still closed. He had to take a back way to get there himself, the sheriff. All right? They already had the guy. So why are the roads still closed? Because they think there might be others. That's why. Trump ahead in the poll. Not only is Trump ahead in the polls of the last couple of days, he's way up. He's way up. And in fact, I was going to be talking about that on the podcast tonight, but now this is, just to give you the mindset, this is a clip from MSNBC, just to give you the mindset. Now again, this is the second assassination attempt on President Trump. Secret Service fired at a man with an AK-47. This is MSNBC's discussion.
Do you expect there to be calls from within the Trump campaign to do that? Because he's going to reach out to his supporters and say, let's take this down. We do not know, again, the source of any gunshot or gunshots. We don't know who's responsible for this. The whole thing has yet to be 100% confirmed from start to finish how this all played out. But do you expect to hear anything from the Trump campaign about toning down the rhetoric?
Toning down the rhetoric from the Trump campaign? He's been shot. Supporters of his have been shot. One killed. There was another assassination attempt today, and MSNBC is concerned about Donald Trump's rhetoric. You ever, that thing about blaming the victim? That's like blaming a rape victim because the way you look at how she was dressed and she's so hot. I mean, the blaming the victim.
But do you expect to hear anything from the Trump campaign about toning down the rhetoric, toning down the violence, or would that be atypical of the former president?
Well, Alex, remember back.
It's like he's bringing this on himself. These Democrats, even after the first assassination attempt, he's a threat to democracy, He's a bigot, white nationalist. He's causing hate against the Haitian people and all this rhetoric. It's their rhetoric that is ginning up this paranoia and hatred among their people. Okay, that guy, that shooter in Pennsylvania was a Democrat donor. Don't let them tell you he was a Republican. I won't say his name. If he was a Republican, he only became a Republican so he could vote for Nikki Haley or something in the primary. All right, that guy was no MAGA guy. He was no Republican. And the same thing here. I mean, these people are disgusting. They're blaming the victim. All right, let's finish up with this.
From the Trump campaign about toning down the rhetoric, toning down the violence, or would that be atypical of the former president?
Well, Alex,
She's toning down the violence. He's the one that got shot and then shot out again today. Okay, hold on. My wife's retweeting some stuff here for me to share with you guys. My wife is my producer during breaking news. Okay, here we go. Charlie Kirk says, he just posted this on Twitter. Sources I spoke with informed me that the Secret Service advance team was scouting the holes ahead of President Trump as he was golfing. Agents spotted the suspect in the tree line in possession of a semi-automatic rifle, which they believed to be an AK-47 or similar. The agents either exchanged fire with him or else it was only the agent shooting at the suspect. This remains unclear. Wow. The suspect immediately fled into the trees and initially managed to evade agents, but was quickly apprehended and is now in law enforcement custody. Oh, boy. Now, that was about an hour ago. Jack Prosobic. Oh, my goodness. Thank you so much, Christine, for the super chat. Oh, my goodness. Jack Prosobic just tweeted this. Trump was just 2 holes away from where the shooter was lying in wait, and Trump was moving in the direction of the shooter. So now the shooter was hiding in a tree on the freaking golf course, or near the golf course, but he was in a tree hiding and waiting for President Trump. How the hell did a guy get there? And not only did he get there, remember what Charlie Kirk said. This was not on Trump's official schedule. So how would a shooter know he was going to be there? And not only that, a lot of people play golf on these golf courses. If Trump's there, he's not the only one on the course. So how does the guy get there through the massive security? And I'll tell you, since the first assassination attempt that President Trump survived, now he survived 2, the security around Trump has been incredibly intense. Okay? So, I mean, a lot more than normal. A lot more than normal. That's why I haven't gone up there. I told you guys the day after I went to Mar-a-Lago the night of the shooting. When I remember I did a radio show, a special show on Saturday night when President Trump was shot. And on the way home, I stopped off at Mar-a-Lago. Security was already up. But right after that, the next day, the security is massive down there. And I haven't gone back because I don't want to go down there and show people all this. There's a lot. And I don't want to show people the security on YouTube. So I could go there, but I choose not to. It is a lot. So how did this guy get there? How was he lying in wait as Trump was approaching the hole? And also the timing of it. You know, how was he, wherever he was waiting, we're hearing a couple things. He was in a tree. Now, Prosobic has this information. So, how was he in a tree waiting for Trump and had it timed out perfectly? There could have been another team of people that came up first and discovered him. This is bad, guys. This is really bad. This is really bad. I mean, there's both of these shootings. There's no doubt about it. This is inside job. Charlie Kirk, Sean Hannity talked about a discussion he just had with Eric Trump. Hannity says Eric became choked up and asked, "How many more lives does my father have left? This has to stop." President Trump just 2 holes away from where the shooter was lying in wait and moving in that direction. And the timing of it, if you remember in Pennsylvania, okay, in Pennsylvania, I talked about this that night. President Trump came out like right on time, almost on the dot, which he never does, right? Because I had right side on, and whatever time he was supposed to come out, they said it. And I have the TV on, and I go around and do my thing and just wait to hear Lee Greenwood. And I was shocked that he came out right on a dime, which he never does. Which showed that they made, whoever made sure President Trump was there right on time for some reason, and he just got shot at that location. This too, with the guy lying in wait 2 holes away, he could have been discovered by anyone. How did he get there? How did he know Trump was going to be there? Right? How was he lying in wait at the perfect time when there weren't others who might see him? No. And Eric is right to be choked up. Now, if you're new to my channel, my name's Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. I'm a radio talk show host. I'm not on the radio now. I'm at home. I broadcast live on the radio weekday mornings, taking live calls. So if you subscribe and follow me here on YouTube, you can catch my live streams. And tomorrow, I'll be taking live calls about this all morning long. I mean, I'm just in shock. I'm just in shock. Jack Posobiec. Trump was just 2 holes away from where the shooter was lying in wait and moving. Trump was moving in that direction. How does something like that happen? How does something like that happen? How is it even possible that something like that could happen? Especially after the Pennsylvania incident. It's not like this didn't happen before. And, okay, I've got a photograph of the guy. They say he's 58 years old. He's white. It's a photograph of the man in custody. They've not confirmed he was the guy with the rifle. But they got him with his arms up and his shirt pulled up. He's 58 years old. We don't have a name on him yet. CBS News reporting what Jack Posobiec shares. The armed suspect was spotted by a member of Trump's Secret Service team 2 holes ahead from where the president was golfing on the edge of the course. Multiple law enforcement officials told CBS News. The suspect fled the scene, jumping into a car after he was engaged by Secret Service agents with multiple gunshots. A car with the same license plate number was stopped in Martin County, north of the golf course. As I was saying, this is well north of the golf course, where they got this guy. Now, again, he could have been driving like a bat out of hell, but it's about 30 minutes. Okay? A car with the same license plate number was stopped in Martin County, north of the golf course. One individual was taken in custody. An AK-47 style weapon and scope were recovered at the scene. So there was a scope. There was a scope. Now, why did he have a scope? Okay. It's been confirmed yet again. The shooter's position on the golf course was in the line of President Trump was in his line of sight. If he would not have been stopped when he was, that was it. They got him just in time. Oh my goodness. With a scope. Now, this is the clip I played earlier of Hannity, but a lot of people have joined us. So this is Hannity. He had spoken with the president 3 times.
Anyway, so long story short is President Trump, they were on the 5th hole. They were about to go up to putt. And the way Steve Witkoff, now, just as a little bit of background, Arthel, I happened to go to breakfast with Steve Witkoff and another friend of mine this morning. And I was invited to play golf. They happen to be really good golfers. I don't have a lot of time to play golf, so I said thank you, but I'm not going to go out on the golf course and
I mean, talk about burying the lead, Hannity. I mean, we know you were invited and you're too busy and you didn't go. I mean, my goodness.
Get killed out there. But long story short, so they were playing, they were on the 5th hole. And the way Steve described this, the way the president described it, they both had exactly the same story, which was that they heard pop, 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 pop. And Steve went into great specificity and great detail as to what happened right after. Within seconds, the Secret Service pounced on the president, covered him. You had snipers with tripods. They knew the direction where the shots had been fired, and they had eyes on the location where the shots had been fired. And long story short, they were I have confirmed with both the president and with Mr. Witkoff that the gun has been found. They identified it as an AK-47.
Yeah, okay, that's Hannity. The sheriff says the suspect left behind an AK-47 style rifle and 2 backpacks that contain ceramic tile. What would be the significance of the ceramic tile? Witnesses saw suspect run from bushes and get into a car. A witness saw the suspect detained in the security incident near President Trump's run from the bushes and took a picture of his vehicle that led to the suspect's apprehension, according to the Palm Beach County Sheriff. Now, remember, he was arrested in Martin County. The shooting happened in Palm Beach County, so we got 2 sheriffs involved. The Palm Beach County Sheriff, Rick Bradshaw, who's a Democrat, by the way, said Sunday his office was alerted at 1:30 p.m. Eastern of shots fired by U.S. Secret Service. We were able to catch a witness that came to us and said, hey, I saw the guy running out of the bushes. He jumped into a black Nissan. And I took a picture of the vehicle and the tag. Authorities were able to get a hit on the vehicle, alerted the Martin County Sheriff's Office, which detained the suspect. The witness was able to identify the man. Secret Service agents were able to spot a rifle barrel sticking out of the fence and engage the suspect, says the sheriff. And the FBI are calling it an attempted assassination. FBI said that it is investigating an attempted assassination of President Trump. So there you got it. I'm sorry to the liberals and the media. We're not very happy about that. I mean, my goodness. My goodness. I mean, twice. The first time in any of our lifetime that the Secret Service have fired their weapons in the line of duty outside of the White House grounds, okay? Twice in 2 months. They didn't fire their weapons when Hinckley shot Reagan. Secret Service didn't fire their weapons when Kennedy was shot. They've done it twice in 2 months with President Trump. What do you think was do you still want to stick with the fact that Kamala won the debate? If Kamala would have won the debate, would they have tried to shoot President Trump again? What do you think? Yes or no? What do you guys think? My goodness. Does Taylor Swift want to rethink her endorsement? I mean, this is disgusting. Disgusting. If she won the debate, this wouldn't have happened. That's right. That's right. The tile would absorb gunfire. Oh, okay. Tomes 23 in the chat. Okay, so The sheriff said that the guy they arrested, the guy that dropped off the AK, had 2 backpacks with ceramic tile in them. Tomes 23 just said in the chat that that could have been it could have stopped fire from the police, from the Secret Service. So maybe he had a backpack on his back and a backpack on his front. It's kind of like body armor. Is that what you're suggesting? Yeah, that makes sense. I could definitely see that. Yeah. Swift isn't too swift. No. No. Yeah, that makes sense. I didn't even think about that. Well, they've got this guy. And of course when these things happen, look, the last guy that shot Trump in Pennsylvania, what do we know about him? We know nothing about him. Really, do we? That's right, Shan. And now we're finding out that it was a local resident who's responsible for catching the guy. It was not the Secret Service drone. Hannity said President Trump told him that. Now we're finding out it was a witness took a photograph of the car. So if that witness wouldn't have taken a photograph of the car, would they have gotten that guy today, or would he have gotten away? No, we've got nothing on the shooter in Pennsylvania. We know his name. That's it. Nothing. He's the only guy in his 20s that has, he's not in any Discord groups. He's not on Reddit. He's nothing. Right? Exactly. And this guy here is older, 58. Skinny guy, too, that they got. But then, listen, we don't know everything about the guy yet. Well, really, we know nothing about the guy. All we know is they got a guy on I-95. Yeah, a witness saw the suspect, later detained in the security incident, run from the bushes. They took a picture of his vehicle that led to the suspect's apprehension. So if it was not for that person, would they have gotten him? Or would he still be driving north on 9? He'd be halfway to Georgia by now. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, I thought it was very interesting that they kept the roads, including I-95, closed even after they got this guy. Why would they do that? Yeah, the witness took a picture of the license plate. Whoever that is, that's a brave person. That's a very brave person. You don't know what's going on. Suspect, the one they have in custody, being treated as potential assassin, being reported by Fox News. And of course, they got to say former President Donald Trump. Oh, my goodness. I never see them use former with Obama or Clinton or any of them. This is Fox News. President Trump is safe after the Secret Service fired at a gun-toting man outside Trump International Golf Club in West Palm Beach, Florida on Sunday. Authorities are treating the case as a potential assassin attempt. An attempted assassin attempt. And arrested a suspect. The man who was not immediately identified was armed with a rifle when agents fired at him. This does not appear to be some random guy with an AK-47 walking outside Trump's club, the official said. Mm-hmm. So we're getting faster and a little bit more information this time around. Absolutely. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. And to the person in the chat who gave us some interest, because the sheriff said the suspect in custody left behind an AK-47 and 2 backpacks containing ceramic tile. And someone in the chat said the backpacks with the tile very well could have been as kind of like protect him from the bullets. This is Rick Bradshaw. He's the Palm Beach County Sheriff.
1:30 this afternoon, call came out, shots fired. That was called in by the Secret Service. Because we're in constant contact with them all the time, we were notified of that, and we had units here that immediately sealed off the area. Fortunately, we were able to locate a witness that came to us and said, hey, I saw the guy running out of the bushes. He jumped into a black Nissan, and I took a picture of the vehicle and the tank,
wow,
which was great. So we had that information. Our real-time crime center put it out to the license plate readers. And we were able to get a hit on that vehicle on I-95 as it was headed into Martin County. We got a hold of Martin.
Okay, now he said heading into Martin County. Okay, so that's right over the border. Now, Martin County is the county just north of Palm Beach County. So, I don't know, Kathy, how far would you say it is from the airport to Martin County on I-95? 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah, about a 20-minute drive from, and he might have been going like a bat out of hell. Who knows? But about it.
If that guy didn't see him, they never would have caught him.
That's right. So we got him. He was about a 20-minute drive north of the golf course. Okay, where the shooting happened, where they got him. If he was right over the county line, is what it sounded like with the sheriff.
And we were able to get a hit on that vehicle on I-95 as it was headed into Martin County. We got a hold of Martin County Sheriff's Office, alerted them, and they spotted the vehicle and pulled it over and detained the guy. After that, we took the witness that witnessed the incident, flew him up there, and he identified as the person that he saw.
Wow, did you hear that? They flew the witness. These guys aren't effing around. So I guess they put him in a helicopter. 20-minute drive. Well, now this isn't that. Well, they said that the license plate reader got him as he entered Martin County. So they may not have apprehended him right at the county line. He may have gotten further north. We don't know. But they flew the witness from the golf course by helicopter to the side of the road where they got the guy so he could identify him on the spot. They were not They didn't want to do a photograph or a video. They wanted him to see him in person. That's amazing.
There, and he identified as the person that he saw running out of the bushes and jumped into the car. Now, in the bushes where this guy was is an AK-47 style rifle with a scope, 2 backpacks which were hung on the fence that had ceramic tile in them, and a GoPro, which he was going to take pictures of. So those are being processed right now.
This is 100% premeditated. Now I'm gonna rewind, and then I'll play the whole thing over again in its entirety, because this is the sheriff of Palm Beach County, which is he's the sheriff of the county where it happened. When I started the stream, Charlie Kirk made the best point that I've heard anyone make, and I want to give Charlie Kirk credit for it. And then he asked a couple questions. He said this: the golf game was not on President Trump's official schedule. So how did this shooter know he was going to be there? How did he know he was going to be there? And then how did he get there with the gun? And what was the GoPro for? Was it for himself, or was it to show someone? I want to play the rest of the sheriff, then I'll play it over again in its entirety for people that are just jumping in.
Hung on the fence that had ceramic tile in them, and a GoPro, which he was going to take pictures of. So those are being processed right now. The Secret Service agent that was on the course did a fantastic job. What they do is they have an agent that jumps one hole ahead of time to where the president was at. And he was able to spot this rifle barrel sticking out of the fence and immediately engage that individual, at which time the individual took off. So that's what we know about the investigation.
Okay, now first off, this is amazing information. And the sheriff here, this sheriff of Palm Beach County, he's been sheriff for ever. He's a Democrat. He's up for re-election. The Secret Service just go a hole ahead on Trump's course while he's there? They don't have the whole place cordoned off? They just go a hole ahead? That doesn't sound too smart if you're trying to protect the man, does it?
Fantastic job. What they do is they have an agent that jumps one hole ahead of time to where the president was at.
They should be at all the holes. William, $5 super chat, thank you.
And he was able to spot this rifle barrel sticking out of the fence and immediately engage that individual, at which time the individual took off. So that's what we know about the investigation. We have somebody in custody right now that is a potential suspect. We got a little bit more work to do on it, but as we usually do, as soon as we decide that we're going to book him into the county jail and the charges that he's going to be booked into, we'll get those to you and we'll get a picture of him and we'll get you his background. So now I'm going to turn it over to the representative of the Secret Service, and he's going to make a brief statement.
But first off, you know what I want to hear from the Secret Service? I'm sorry. We have failed again. I mean, the Secret Service is not up to this job. Okay? They're not up to this job. They're not doing their job right. After the first assassination attempt, they don't have Secret Service on every hole around the entire course. They just go a hole ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. I first want to thank all of our law enforcement partners, to include the Palm Beach Sheriff's Office and the Martin County Sheriff's Office, for their involvement today. Former President Donald Trump is safe and unharmed.
Well, here's the Secret Service. I'm having a hard time understanding what he's saying with his accent. Is he one of the dreamers? And what's he making such a big deal about former president, like these the Trump haters?
The Palm Beach Sheriff's Office and the Martin County Sheriff's Office for their involvement today. Former President Donald Trump is safe and unharmed following a protective incident shortly before 2 p.m. on Sunday at Trump International Golf Club at West Palm Beach. The U.S. Secret Service personnel opened fire on a gunman located near the property line, and this matter is under investigation. I'll turn it over to my partners over at the FBI.
That's all the Secret Service has to say? They got their guy shot 2 months ago, got a guy killed, 2 others shot. Now they got a second guy there? And why is the head Secret Service guy got such a heavy accent for? How do you, and why is he focusing on this former president? It's FBI.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jeffrey Veltri. I'm the special agent in charge of the FBI's Miami field office. The FBI...
Now, Key, I want to remind you guys, the FBI Miami field office, those are the guys that broke into Mar-a-Lago. Remember that? The ones that burst into Mar-a-Lago, went in there with a safe cracker, and broke into President Trump's safe, tossed his office, threw those papers on the floor and took pictures, went through Melania's closet and drawers, and tossed Barron's room. That's the Miami FBI field office, okay? So this guy here is the head agent from the people that broke into Mar-a-Lago. Are you kidding me? So here's who's doing the investigation. We got the Secret Service, who got 2 assassination attempts in 2 months, right? And the people that broke into Mar-a-Lago.
Good afternoon,
Nuts.
everyone. My name is Jeffrey Veltri. I'm the special agent in charge of the FBI's Miami field office. The FBI has assumed the role as the lead federal law enforcement agency in the investigation of the incident that occurred earlier today at Trump International Golf Course here in West Palm Beach, Florida. We've deployed a number of resources, including the investigative teams, crisis response team members, bomb technicians, and evidence response team members as well. What we need right now is for the public to avoid the area around the golf course. We will continue to support this investigation with the full resources of the FBI, alongside our partners with the United States Secret Service and the Palm Beach Sheriff's Office, as well as Martin County Sheriff's Office and state and local law enforcement. I would ask that if anyone has any information that may assist with this investigation, to contact our tip line at 1-800-CALL-FBI or at tips, that's TIPS.FBI.gov. Thank you.
David?
Hi, I'm Dave Ehrenberg, State Attorney for Palm Beach County. I want to thank Sheriff Bradshaw and our partners at the local, state, and federal levels. I'm here because our prosecutors are currently working up warrants and a motion for pretrial detention for the suspect. In that way, he will be kept in custody. But our filing of these warrants and charges at the state level does not preclude federal charges that could be coming. But in the meantime, it looks like the warrants and the pretrial detention motion will happen first. And again, I want to thank the cooperation we've had with our federal partners and at the local level. And thank you all for being here today.
Okay, we're going to make these pictures available to you. It'll show you a picture of the backpack and the rifle. And there's also a GoPro on the fence there where he was intent on filming what was going on.
Okay, I mean, this is just insane. This is insane. Melissa, Beauty for Ashes, $50 super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. This is really bad. I mean, this is bad. You know, and I did not hear from the Secret Service agent any remorse. Did you? I didn't hear any remorse from him at all. At all. You know, we had their first protectee shot 2 months ago since Ronald Reagan in 1981. And 2 months later, it happened again with all of the congressional hearings, with all the discussion. We saw the incompetence. It was, you know, those congressional hearings exposed the politics behind it, right? They didn't want to give President Trump proper Secret Service protections before the first shooting because they didn't want him to look too presidential. Remember that came out in the hearings before they got rid of the lady? That's what came out. They didn't want him to look too presidential. And here we are again. Here we are again. And by the way, these are all Democrats. The sheriff's a Democrat. The state attorney's a Democrat that are looking into this. I mean, it's a Democrat county where Mar-a-Lago is. So it's all Democrats. The FBI is the lead agency from the Miami field office. Those are the ones that broke into Mar-a-Lago. So everyone involved in the investigation is a Democrat. And you know, the Secret Service guy, all he did was look down at his prepared statements. You know? Just look down at his prepared statements. No emotion, no sorrow, no apology. You know, can you imagine what President Trump and Melania are going through right now with Barron? You know, here they got Barron off in college, and this crap's happening, and they have this level of protection around President Trump. You know, and I know when this first started, the media, they did, without any information, they were immediately trying to push this into some drive-by gangbanger thing. And now we know the guy was waiting the couple holes ahead for him, and he got caught by accident. Now I hope we get some information quick about this guy. I mean, he's been arrested. They got him, and he was arrested quite like maybe 2 hours ago by now. They got him pretty quick, thanks to a witness. I mean, think about this, right? This guy was not identified by the police, the Secret Service, or their drones. He was identified by a civilian witness who just happened to be there and who had the sense and the guts to not hide for cover because, you know, something they knew, they heard the shots, they knew something was going on. you know, and they took a picture of the license plate. They got it. If that witness had not gotten a picture of the license plate, would they have this guy in custody? Now, this is an interesting thing as we find out more about him. How long do you think it'll take before they try to tell us he's a Republican? I'm surprised they haven't done it already. By the way, if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. My name is Brian Craig, and this is where MAGA comes to talk. Maybe they would have got him, but maybe they wouldn't have. Was he supposed to be caught so quick? You know? And when you've got a guy waiting a couple holes ahead like this, who has no idea that how would this guy have known President Trump was going to be there? How would he have known that? You know, even if you know President Trump's in town, okay, and he leaves Mar-a-Lago, he's not always going to golf. And by the way, not every vehicle that leaves with a Secret Service detail is him. There's other people that go in and out of there that are under Secret Service protection and have a motorcade. So you never know if it's him or not, unless something's scheduled and it's going on. This was not scheduled. The Signkeeper, $2 super sticker. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. This was not announced. There was no way to know. Just because there's a lot of places he goes. He could be going to his church on Sunday. He could be going out to eat. He could be going to a friend's house. Who knows? He's not always, when he leaves, going to golf. But you don't even know when he's going to leave when something's not on his schedule. So this driver, they haven't told us who he is yet. How would he have known, one, where he was going to be? How would he have known when to wait? When Trump was approaching the home? There's no way this is just some guy who just got together 2 backpacks filled with ceramic tile to protect himself with, grabbed an AK and went. Nothing could convince me of that. What we're gonna, I don't know. When he's identified, you know, look, we don't know anything about the last shooter. Now this guy's alive for now. I hope he stays that way so we can learn more about him. But I'm shocked that we don't already have an ID on him, since his photograph is all over the place. He's a skinny white guy. They say he's 58 years old. And you know, these assassins like this are politically minded people. So I don't buy any of this crap. If they come back and, like the last guy in Pennsylvania, he has no social media platform or anything, you going to buy that? I'm not going to buy it.
Agents engaged.
Okay, here's the Secret Service spokesperson.
It was 1 or 2 holes behind. That because the bubble moves through the golf course, so our agents will get there first, clear it. He noticed that the rifle was pointed out. Our agents engaged. We are not sure right now if the individual was able to take a shot at our agents, but for sure our agents were able to engage with the subject. I don't know that. That appears so. Yep.
How far away was the president? How far away was Donald Trump when this gentleman was caught and stopped?
Probably between 300 and 500 yards.
Oh my goodness.
But with a rifle and a scope like that, that's not a long distance.
It was 1.
Wow, pretty close. And what's this bubble crap? The whole thing should have been taken care of. Let me see. Is this the same clip? Let me play it.
It was 1 or 2 holes behind.
Okay, that's the one I just played. Here's the next clip.
Former President Donald Trump is safe.
Oh, back to that former president crap again. They can't even, I mean, come on. Have you ever heard them say former president with all the others, with Obama and all that so much?
Former President Donald Trump is safe and unharmed following a protective incident shortly before 2 p.m. on Sunday at Trump International Golf Club at West Palm Beach. The U.S. Secret Service personnel opened fire on a gunman located near the property line, and this matter is under investigation.
Oh, gee. Boy, that's the head of the Secret Service down here. He sounds all broken up, doesn't he? You know, if you, let me ask you, if you're in charge of the Secret Service, if you're with the Secret Service and they've shot at him twice in 2 months, don't you have some sense of responsibility that you've screwed up?
1:30 this afternoon.
This is the Palm Beach County Sheriff, he's the sheriff of the county where the shooting happened. His name is Rick Bradshaw. He's my sheriff.
1:30 this afternoon. Call came out, shots fired. That was called in by the Secret Service. Because we're in constant contact with them all the time, we were notified of that, and we had units here that immediately sealed off the area. Fortunately, we were able to locate a witness that came to us and said, hey, I saw the guy running out of the bushes. He jumped into a black Nissan, and I took a picture of the vehicle and the tag, which was great. So we had that information. Our real-time crime center put it out to the license plate readers. And we were able to get a hit on that vehicle on I-95 as it was headed into Martin County. We got a hold of Martin County Sheriff's Office, alerted them, and they spotted the vehicle and pulled it over and detained the guy. After that, we took the victim.
Maggie Lee, $20 super chat. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
I'm sorry, the witness that witnessed the incident flew him up there, and he identified as the person that he saw running out of the bushes and jumped into the car. Now, in the bushes where this guy was is an 8K-47 style rifle with a scope, 2 backpacks which were hung on the fence that had ceramic tile in them, and a GoPro, which he was going to take pictures of. So those are being processed right now. The Secret Service agent that was on the course did a fantastic job. What they do is they have an agent that jumps one hole ahead of time to where the president was at.
One hole, the bubble, one hole ahead. Okay, the suspect has not yet made any statements regarding his involvement in the assassination attempt of President Trump, and he has not yet been named. You know, when I first heard the story, when it first broke, a little after 1:30, because it broke real quick. I saw it on X, and I'm not sure if I heard it because I'm here locally, or if all you guys heard it around that same time. But yeah, it's pretty brutal. It seemed to me that the way they were reporting it in the beginning is if there was multiple people, not just one. It is surreal. VPN's nice. It is surreal. It is surreal. I mean, do you think they're going to take Barron out of Columbia? They should. They should. I mean, this is. You would think it's supposed to be impossible to do this in the first place, but twice in 2 months. Saying former president is just another way to disrespect him. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. It's a way to disrespect him, and that's why they do it. Yeah. The Secret Service, they are really just, they should be a little more, just a little more emotional about it. Now, Don Jr. just retweeted Rachel Vindman. Kermit, $5 super sticker. Thank you so much, Kermit. Don Jr. just retweeted this tweet of Rachel Vindman, who I'm assuming is related to Colonel Vindman. And Don Jr. said, these people are effing demented. And what Rachel Vindman tweeted, no ears were harmed. Carry on with your Sunday afternoon. What kind of psycho says something like that? He's right, demented. What a sicko. What a sicko. Here's another clip. This is the sheriff.
How was this able to happen?
How was the reporter is asking the sheriff, how was this able to happen?
How was this able to happen, and for future reference, is there any obscurity in the golf course?
Well, you got to understand the golf course is surrounded by shrubbery. So when somebody gets into the shrubbery, they're pretty much out of sight. All right. And at this level that he is at right now, he's not the sitting president. If he was, we would have had this entire golf course around it. But because he's not, the security is limited to the areas that the Secret Service deems possible. So I would imagine that the next time he comes to the golf course, there'll probably be a little bit more people around the perimeter.
Would you guys feel better if one person involved in this investigation was not a Democrat? The sheriff's a Democrat. The FBI, they broke into Mar-a-Lago, okay? Come on. The state attorney, he's a Democrat. The entire investigation into this incident is being run by Democrats. Now, they've released a photograph. There's a photo out of the guy on the side of the road and his two backpacks. This is most definitely, planned. This isn't something that just happened. No. This is most definitely something that this guy planned on doing. And I'm curious about the GoPro. Did he just I mean, why would he want to film it? Did he need like proof to show someone? I don't know. Now, if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. You know, in the debate with Willie Brown's girlfriend, Kamala Harris, when Trump mentioned the assassination attempt in Pennsylvania, they couldn't get away from it quick enough, could they, the moderators? They shut that down like almost immediately because they know, that, of course, that it does make him sympathetic. So, you know, a lot of people, after that first assassination attempt, got red-pilled real quick, like Robert Kennedy Jr. Robert Kennedy Jr., that was it for him. That's when he got red-pilled, and he's not alone. A lot of other people did. So, a second assassination attempt. How many more are going to get red-pilled? And you know this thing about the GoPro, what I'm wondering is, now this will be amazing. I want to know what's on that SD card. Was he recording himself all along the way? Do we have a recording of him preparing, going, hiding out? He had the GoPro for something. Was he documenting everything he was doing every step of the way? I'd like to know. Elon Musk went full. Yes, Elon Musk endorsed him, and I know they say it's because of Elon's son, and certainly that had something to do with it. But probably also had something to most definitely had something to do with the assassination. Jack, a $10 super chat. Thank you. Trump needs former SEALs protecting him. I mean, you know, not that this is a solution, but after on 9/11, they took a lot of government officials to military bases to protect them from terrorists. And over the years, they've taken witnesses against the mob and stuff to military bases for protection. But I don't know. I mean, what you know, you heard from Hannity. You heard from Hannity that he was concerned about his golf partner, his golf buddy, because he didn't see him. He thought he might have gotten hit because they heard the pop, pop, pops. I'm going to play the Hannity again because I think Hannity really gave a good description because he talked to the president and others that were there, gave a real good description of what had happened. But President Trump was very concerned about the guy he was golfing with because he didn't see him right away. So you really got to wonder. You really got to wonder. Is he going to continue to do the rallies? Is he going to go back to Butler now? You know, because he's so worried about the people around him. So this is Hannity. He had spoken to the president 3 times, went on Fox a little while ago, and detailed what he heard from President Trump and others around him.
Anyway, so long story short is President Trump, they were on the fifth hole. They were about to go up to putt. And the way Steve Witkoff, now, just as a little bit of background, Arthel, I happened to go to breakfast with Steve Witkoff and another friend of mine this morning. And I was invited to play golf. They happen to be really good golfers. I don't have a lot of time to play golf, so I said thank you, but I'm not going to go out on the golf course and get killed out there.
And I tell you, Hannity is so full of himself and stupid. He spends 30 seconds telling you that he was invited, but he turned down the invite to go golfing with the president. And then he uses this analogy, didn't want to get killed out there. And what he meant was, because he, sucks at golf, which I get. People invite me to play golf sometimes, and I suck. I don't go either. But to use that analogy with what happened here just seems a little sick and stupid. But Hannity's full of himself.
But long story short, so they were playing, they were on the fifth hole. And the way Steve described this, the way the president described it, they both had exactly the same story, which was that they heard pop, 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 pop. And Steve went into great specificity and great detail as to what happened right after. Within seconds, the Secret Service pounced on the president, covered him. You had snipers with tripods. They knew the direction where the shots had been fired, and they had eyes on the location where the shots had been fired. And long story short, they were. I have confirmed with both the president and with Mr. Witkoff that the gun has been found. They identified it as an AK-47, and thanks to Secret Service drone video coverage, they were able to identify one individual involved in this shooting.
Now, we know that not to be true. The sheriff told us that they got it from the witness taking a photograph with their cell phone of the license plate.
Getting into a car after dropping the AK-47, and my understanding, according to both of them, is that that car has been identified, and I believe it's been surrounded. Whether or not that person has been apprehended or not.
Okay, we got that. That's all. Now, okay, I got a new update. The Secret Service. Listen to this. Oh, my goodness. The Secret Service said this. So, VJC said, "You're lucky Hannity didn't say he was working out with his sensei at mixed martial arts that he's been doing for 20." Exactly. Secret Service said this. Donald Trump's South Florida golf course would have been surrounded with protection if he were the sitting president. But the U.S. Secret Service was limited in the area it was able to cover ahead of Sunday's incident, known as the second assassination attempt, according to the sheriff. The golf course is surrounded by shrubbery. Okay, so even after he was shot, and 3 supporters were shot, one of them killed, they haven't increased his detail yet? Are you freaking kidding me? The golf course is surrounded by shrubbery. This is the sheriff talking. So when somebody gets into the shrubbery, they're pretty much out of sight. If he was the sitting president, we would have had the entire golf course surrounded, but because he's not, security is limited to the areas that the Secret Service deems possible. This is the sheriff of Palm Beach County talking. I would imagine that the next time he comes to the golf course, there'll probably be a little bit more people around the perimeter. Probably. A little bit more. I mean, how many times do they have to go through this? This is the second attempt. Unreal. This is unreal. Okay, we do have I'm not going to say the name yet until it's in one of the major news things, but he is being identified by name. But I'm going to wait until it's in a mainstream news, not just people on X saying it. Okay, let me see. Someone says Fox has reported it. Let me see. Okay, Fox News. Okay. This is Fox News. The suspect in the second assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump. There they are again with this freaking former crap. This is Fox News. The suspect in the second assassination attempt on President Donald Trump has been identified as Ryan Wesley Routh, R-O-U-T-H. Law enforcement have confirmed this to Fox News. He was armed with an assault rifle outside Trump International Golf Course while Trump was playing the fifth hole. He was able to push the muzzle of his gun through the chain link fence outside the golf club. He was 300 to 500 yards away from Trump. Secret Service spotted Routh and opened fire. Routh was able to get away, later stopped by authorities and arrested. He was found with 2 backpacks, that's the one with the ceramic tiles, and a GoPro. The rifle was recovered from the bushes. This is the second attempt made on Trump's life in 2 months. That's exactly right. Okay. Authorities are investigating. They're saying that he pushed. Okay, again, another update. He did push the muzzle through the chain link, so he was outside. Now, this is an interesting thing about this. Okay, so he was outside and put his rifle through the fence. So he's standing out there with an AK-47, and no one saw him. Okay, my wife just retweeted something she told me to see. Okay. Charlie Kirk just retweeted a tweet from a woman by the name of Carol Markowitz. Carol Markowitz, this is Charlie Kirk. Carol Markowitz historically has very good sources in Florida. She's reporting that this image of the suspect after he was apprehended is a 58-year-old man whose social media is filled with anti-Israel content and calls to recruit people to fight in Ukraine. It's Carol with a K, K-A-R-O-L. So he is most definitely an anti-Semitic liberal who calls to recruit people to fight for Ukraine. My wife is working as my producer. She's finding stuff for me here to share with you all. Okay, New York Post. New York Post article. Donald Trump was rushed to safety by Secret Service agents after a man armed with an AK-47 opened fire on his golf course. This is the New York Post. Trump was golfing at the time. The man was spotted several holes ahead. They show where he was stopped. So let me see. Let me look at these roads here. He was stopped pretty far away. I would say that is an easy 30-minute drive north of, no, this is not an open carry state, Florida. It is not an open carry state. No. So, yeah. So he most definitely was about 30 minutes north. Now, that doesn't mean it took him 30 minutes to get there. He could have been driving really fast. But if I were driving... Yeah. Well, I'm curious with the GoPro, was he filming himself along the way and document what he did on his way there and preparing for it? What do you think the chances are that this guy just decided to do this on his own? Because, you know, it's like I said at the very beginning of the stream, I started the stream with this incredible point and question that Charlie Kirk asked on Twitter, and this is it. This golfing day was not on Trump's official schedule. That's what Charlie Kirk said, and he knows for a fact. And he said, how did the assassin know that Trump was going to be there? How did he know? It would have to be an inside job. It would have to be. Okay. This is breaking right now. This is on This is on X. He's a Ukraine loyalist who has posted on social media about his hatred for President Trump and supplying soldiers to Kiev. So, and they have photographs of him, and they've got images from his social media. This is in. Let me read this before I read it to you. The assassin. They have a screenshot of a tweet that the assassin posted to Twitter on June 11th, 2020, and he tagged President Trump. He said he voted for him in 2016. I and the world hoped that President Trump would be different and better than the candidate, but we were all greatly disappointed, and it seems you were getting worse and devolving. Are you retarded? I will be glad when you are gone. So he said that he voted for him in 2016. Then they have photographs of this is the assassin. They have photographs of the assassin. One of them is in Washington. The other photograph is him in Kiev. He was in Kiev. And, yeah. And he posted to social media. I can't tell if this is... Oh, he's a registered Democrat. Okay, he said, and he has a picture of himself in front of the Capitol building, and then another picture of himself in Kiev. He's the last report I said they said he was 58, and he posted in D.C. and Kiev to provide soldiers for the war effort. He's a registered Democrat. Yeah, he's. What does he mean by provide soldiers? Tiger, thank you for the super chat. I'm not familiar with the currency, so I can't say the amount, but I appreciate it. God bless Israel. God bless President Trump. More strength to Mr. Trump. Keep up the good work, sir. God bless you. Well, thank you for that super chat. So we got a Democrat. First assassin was a Dem donor. This assassin is a Democrat. And what does he mean? In D.C. and Kiev to provide soldiers for the war effort. So... how does a guy like this, because this is all breaking, so we're going to know a lot. This is all breaking. So this is beyond being a Zelensky lover. He's got a photograph of himself in front of the Capitol, another photograph of himself in Kiev. He's wearing a suit and tie in both, and he wrote on social media in D.C. and Kiev. I can't say Kiev. I'm sorry. To provide soldiers for the war effort. To provide soldiers for the war effort. So what kind of connection does this guy have that he, one, is in Kiev, in Ukraine? How did he get there? How did he get, can I just buy a plane ticket to go to and fly to Kiev from Florida? Can I just fly there, or do I need some special contact? Does anyone know? Can I fly there on Delta or JetBlue or something? Or do I got to go through some special thing with the State Department? It's a war zone. Does anyone know? So how did he get there? And who did he meet with when he was there? And what does he mean by provide soldiers for the war effort? What is he doing that's providing soldiers for the war effort? This is a guy who's connected. This is a guy who's connected. I don't think that as a civilian, you can just go to Kiev.
You think this is the last incident? You're out of your mind.
Okay, now this was a couple weeks ago. This is Dan Bongino when he was talking to that congressional committee with Matt Gaetz.
You think this is the last incident? You're out of your mind. We have seen these incidents over and over. We saw the Georgia grenade incident with President Bush. They overtook the magnetometers. The Secret Service leadership in charge now with the exact same people. Exact same. Can you imagine a C-suite or a company that makes widgets? We find out that there's a design defect. The widget explodes and kills 10 people, and the CTO gets a promotion to CEO. You understand that's what happened here, correct? These are the same people. Kim Cheadle, the director, wasn't even fired. She was allowed to resign. She'll go get some cushy job somewhere, and her deputy, who is one of the guys behind these stupid waste of time things like agents wearing red ties on the detail. Because this actually happened, by the way. These people will tell you this on the road if you get the right people. He was concerned about the tie color of the agents on the detail because it seemed to imply he supported President Trump. Congressman Biggs wearing a red tie. You're wearing a semi-red tie. There's nothing to do with anything. This is the kind of stuff the Secret Service was actually wasting their time with while withholding CSU counter surveillance assets and counter sniper assets from probably the most threatened man on earth. If you can explain it, good luck, because that's not the agency I worked for.
Wow. Yeah. Dan Bongino. He predicted it. I saw that live and I thought to myself, there's no way. How could this happen again? How could this happen again? It is insane. I love Bongino. I love Bongino. He's great. Okay, now there's some photographs of the guy's car, this SUV that he had. I can't tell what make it is. But we don't... Okay, but I'll tell you this, okay? There's no doubt. If you're new to my channel, by the way, make sure you subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, please like the video. He's a retired Secret Service agent, Bongino. You know who President Trump needs protecting him? He needs the Israelis. That's who he needs. Right? Yeah, he needs the Israelis protecting him. Yeah, they said it was a Nissan. It might be a Nissan. I mean, that's who could protect him, not these guys. They've had 2 assassination attempts in 2 months. But this guy getting into Kiev and saying he's there bringing soldiers, this is a guy, this is more than just a registered Democrat. This is a very connected guy. This is not a guy who just woke up today and did this. And you know what else I haven't heard about this guy? Is he a South Florida guy? Does he live here, or did he fly in? Do we know? Now we did get details about him from one person here in South Florida, but that doesn't mean he lived here. How many lives does President Trump have left? That's exactly right. I know, this is nuts. Okay, hold on. My producer wife is sending me updates that I'm not finding here. Hold on. Okay, this is the assassin they arrested today. Ryan Wesley Routh. Okay? And listen to this. This is the assassin. Today's assassin. Ryan Wesley Routh has been actively working with Ukraine, recruiting Afghan special forces to go fight with them. Well, that sounds like freaking CIA. It says right here, Ryan Wesley Routh has been actively working with Ukraine, recruiting Afghan special forces to go fight with them. Is Ukraine behind this assassination? Is Zelensky behind this assassination? This guy sounds like CIA. Who, and under the tweet, the person that tweeted, who was he working with in the U.S. government that was allowing him to do this? And then this is a post that he made to social media. This is the assassin. Boy. Aren't you so glad that Elon Musk bought Twitter and turned it into X? All this stuff we have, if the old people, those old liberal jerks, still had Twitter, all this stuff I'm sharing with you, we would not have access to it. They would suppress it all. This is the assassin. He posted this. It says May 4th. I don't know if it's this year or last, but Ryan Routh. Soldiers, we are working on getting invitation letters from Ukraine and a path, but soldiers must be able to apply for their own visas and pay for all travel and expenses to get to Ukraine and cannot ask any questions at all of Ukraine contacts. So this guy is organizing mercenaries to go fight for Ukraine against Russia. This guy sounds like CIA. Let me start over. I'll read the whole thing. I can't read all of it because some of it's in a foreign language that I don't recognize. This is the assassin from today. Soldiers, we are working on getting invitation letters from Ukraine and a path, but soldiers must be able to apply for their own visas and pay for all travel and expenses to get to Ukraine and cannot ask any questions at all of Ukraine contacts. It will still take 6 months to a year. I do not have time to respond to hundreds of Facebook messages. Send your passport and CV by WhatsApp, and I will respond to serious soldiers. And then he has his WhatsApp number. This guy, I mean, this is one connected dude. I mean, this is beyond just being a registered Democrat. This is an operative. This is an operative. No, this is all breaking. Marjorie Taylor Greene, she just tweeted, Secret Service is not protecting Trump the way he should be protected. Why? Because he is not the current president? Are you serious? I'm in shock. Okay. Cat Turd on Twitter just posted a screenshot of a couple of things that Ryan Routh, he's the assassin from the golf course today, posted to social media. He tagged Kamala Harris. This is the assassin. He tagged Kamala Harris. You and Biden should visit the injured people in the hospital from the Trump rally and attend the funeral of the murdered firemen. Trump will never do anything for them. Show the world what compassion and humanity is all about. Then he tagged Joe Biden and tweeted, you should visit the victims in the hospital of the Trump rally victims and attend the funeral of the firemen that died. Trump certainly never would. Show the world what real leaders do. This guy is more than just a Democrat. This is a very, very connected dude. This is a very connected guy. This is not just some lone gunman. Yeah, no. There is more to this guy. Okay, there's more of it. They were not able to wipe his social media yet, and people have been taking screenshots like mad of it and posting it on X. Okay, this is the assassin, today's assassin at the golf course. He tweeted to Biden, your campaign should be something, this is the assassin from the golf course today. Your campaign should be called something like KDAF, Keep America Democratic and Free. Trump's should be Massa, Make Americans Slaves Again, Master. Democracy is on the ballot and we cannot lose. We cannot afford to fail. The world is counting on us to show the way. That was in April. This is a post that he made in February 2022. I am willing to fly to Ukraine and die for its people, and everyone around the globe should do the same. Come on, people. That's February 2022. Oh, my goodness. He's a registered Democrat, no doubt about that. Let me see. There's some other posts. I think I might have already read these. Yes, I've already read those. Sorry, guys. I'm getting FaceTime. Obviously, my phone is ringing like mad. Tiger Sharman, thanks so much for the super chat. Secret Service themselves are agents of the deep state and establishment. It would seem that way. There's most definitely something going on. This guy, without question, is an operative. The only question is, who is he an operative for? Hold on, my daughter is texting me. Hold on. I'm gonna text my daughter back. But the question is he an operative for Ukraine or us? I mean, people already are saying, this guy smells like CIA. Right? The swamp is very deep. Well, Friday and Saturday, I was going to, my wife and I were starting to record our podcast for today. And then they tried to kill Trump again. So we stopped the podcast. We'll do a podcast tomorrow. We were in the middle of it. But, I said, no, I got to live stream. We got to, this is breaking news. The podcast will be dated. We got to, on this is breaking news. And you can see already, we are less than 5 hours since this happened. And look at all the information we've gotten here. I don't think you can just buy a plane ticket to Kiev and take mercenaries there. There's no doubt in my mind this guy's deep state. 100% deep state. Oh, yeah. I mean, what must Melania be thinking about Barron right now and their family? My goodness. He went to Ukraine. So I want to know how he got there, how he got clearance, and who he met with when he was there. Don't you? Of course. Let's see if CNN is going to bother to give us any updates. I mean, you get a lot. I mean, if Elon didn't buy Twitter, we would have nothing. We would know none of this. A lot of these screenshots that I've been reading to from his social media are tweets. If the old crew of liberals still had Twitter, it would have been scrubbed as soon as they got the name, right? They wouldn't want you to see it. But Elon Musk isn't playing those games. Elon is letting us see. Now, they may take it down by now. Let me see if it's still. They may have taken it down by now. No, it's still up. No, it is still up. This is December 2023. I have thousands of Afghan soldiers that wish to serve for the Haiti National Police at cheap wages. 1,000 with passports ready to fly to aid Ukraine. So this is interesting. With all this stuff going on with Haiti, he says here, I have thousands of Afghan soldiers. What's all this contact with all these Afghan soldiers? Deep state guy. I have thousands of Afghan soldiers that wish to serve for the Haiti National Police. What is that about? Very strange. This guy is a strange dude. Yeah, it's all over. He was actively recruiting soldiers to fight in Ukraine. And his social media is obsessed with recruiting soldiers. The golf course assassin ran a website to recruit Americans to fight in Ukraine. Mercenaries were offered $1,200 a month to fight for Ukraine. He worked in D.C. to send U.S. troops over. Worked for who? Yeah, So this guy is most definitely. I don't know who he's recruiting for $1,200 a month to go fight a war, but he is most definitely a deep state connected guy. Yeah, Project 2025. They're worried about Project 2025. Got nothing to do with Trump. You should be more worried about their projects that have gotten Trump shot at twice, shot once. Those are the projects to worry about. You know, it's a big deal, okay? And just let me recap a little bit about what's happened here for people that have joined in progress, because we've been here for a while. Around 1:30 or so, when this story first broke that there was an assassination attempt on President Trump's life here in Palm Beach at his golf course, what they immediately were trying to act as if this was some local gangbangers doing some drive-bys nearby. Now we know that President Trump was the target. The guy was up on the fence line, and one of the Secret Servicemen saw the rifle butt that he was at the most 500 yards away from President Trump. He had a scope on a AK-47 type weapon, they say. So they haven't confirmed it's AK-40. Okay. He had 2 backpacks filled with ceramic tiles, and someone in the chat made a good point that very well could have been as protection from bullets. They caught him the next county north of Palm Beach, about 30 minutes away, normal driving, about 30 minutes away. He was identified by a bystander, just a regular civilian, who saw what happened, saw him, and took a photograph of his vehicle and license plate and told police. They had the license plate number from the witness. They put it in the license plate identification things that they have on the road, and they got him when he crossed the county line from Palm Beach County into Martin County. The Martin County sheriffs got him. The Palm Beach County sheriff flew the witness by helicopter 30 minutes away to identify the assassin in person. Yeah, they say he's from Hawaii. So he's not a Florida resident. They're saying he's from Hawaii. It's the latest, which is a Democrat state, by the way. Now we know that he's on top of this, he's a registered Democrat. He traveled to D.C. and Kiev, recruiting and bringing soldiers to fight for Ukraine. He was active in recruiting mercenaries to fight for Ukraine. This guy is deep state connected guy. This is not the kind of thing that a normal person would be able to do. If you went around and if any of you or me who started trying to recruit mercenaries to go fight in a war against another country, you'd get arrested. That's not just something you can do. And I don't know what kind of hoops you have to go through, but I can't go on Travelocity and buy an airline ticket to Kiev and go over there in a suit and tie with mercenaries. There's got to be more to it than that. So, also with this guy, it's very important to point this out. And Charlie Kirk is the only person I've seen bring this up, and I want to give him credit because this puts everything together. The golf game was not on President Trump's official schedule. So how did this guy know that President Trump was going to be there today? How did he know he was going to be there today? Here in Florida, where did he get this car? Does he live in Hawaii? Do you know if he lives in Hawaii, Kathy? How did he get that car here? I didn't see the license plate on it or identify. Was it a Florida plate? Where was he staying? Who was he staying with? How did he pay his bills? How did he know Trump was going to be at the golf course? Not only did he know that Trump was going to be at the golf course, how did he know where to wait along the fence line to have President Trump in his line of sight? And I'm sure there's many more questions if we were to make a list and sit down and have a talk. I mean, those are just things off the top of my head. Everything about this stinks. This is not some lone gunman who just did this, any more than Lee Harvey Oswald was a lone gunman. Does anyone think he was a lone gunman, Lee Harvey Oswald? I mean, and look at how little information we have on the Butler guy. There was a lot of planning in this. I don't know if the car was a rental. It doesn't look like a new car. I don't know. To do the things he was doing, he is a connected guy. Here's another one of his tweets. Jack Posobiec, just, since Elon has not taken down his Twitter, this is the golf course assassin. He tagged David Muir with this tweet. I'm going to Ukraine to stand for world peace, but if I'm going to die, I would like to have 1 second of acknowledgement that as an American, I am willing to die for Ukraine, and we all should be willing to go and die for democracy. Please help me showcase the cause. Wow. Now, here's the thing, okay? And this is interesting. Somebody just tweeted it. Okay. I tell you, if Elon had not bought Twitter, all this information that I'm sharing with you, we would not have access to it. It would have been shut down. All these screenshots and people posting them and everything. So there's 2 photographs of him, one in Kiev and one in D.C. in front of the Capitol. And he posted to social media in D.C. and Kiev to provide soldiers for the war effort. And then someone retweeted the photographs of him in front of the Capitol and in Kiev and said this: Speaker Mike Johnson should immediately release the names of every member of Congress who met with him. Exactly. Most definitely. They should release all of them because he was up there meeting with someone. He didn't take the picture in front of the Capitol just to take a picture. He was very specific about what he was doing there, why he was there, and what he was doing there. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe, okay, guys? This is most definitely where MAGA comes to talk. I mean, this is... When I go to bed tonight, how much more is going to happen tonight by the time I wake up? Things are breaking about this guy non-stop. Non-stop. Okay, here's the sheriff of Palm Beach County.
Call came out, shots fired. That was called in by the Secret Service. Because we're in constant contact with them all the time, we were notified of that, and we had units here that immediately sealed off the area. Fortunately, we were able to locate a witness that came to us and said, hey, I saw the guy running out of the bushes. He jumped into a black Nissan, and I took a picture of the vehicle and the tag, which was great. So we had that information. Our real-time crime center put it out to the license plate readers. And we were able to get a hit on that vehicle on I-95 as it was headed into Martin County. We got a hold of Martin County Sheriff's Office, alerted them, and they spotted the vehicle and pulled it over and detained the guy. After that, we took the witness that witnessed the incident, flew him up there, and he identified as the person that he saw running out of the bushes and jumped into the car.
Okay. Now, this is an interesting thing. Because originally they were telling us that the assassin's vehicle was identified by a Secret Service drone, but now we know that's total bogus. It was identified by a witness who saw it and took a photograph with their cell phone. So things didn't go exactly as planned. If that witness had not taken the photograph of the license plate, would they have gotten this guy yet? What do you think? He'd be in Georgia by now. He could have made it to Georgia by now. Would they have gotten him by now if that witness had not taken that photograph? Probably not. Nope. He would have disappeared. And I'm curious. You know what I'm curious about? Where was he going up I-95? Martin County is, he was kind of Martin County. We don't know where he was going, and it's right up the coast. Was he going to go to Ukraine? He spends a lot of time over there. Who knows? But he had to have a plan. He was going somewhere. He didn't go south. He went north. So why did he go north? Where was he going? Was he alone? We don't even have any updates on that. Was he alone? Who was he in contact with? They got his cell phone. Another thing about this guy, okay? We're going to get more information when they book him and everything. This guy should not be booked like just some regular convict in the county jail. This is a Homeland Security issue. This is a guy who has been working with the Ukraine government. We know he was in Kiev meeting with God knows who. He spent the last 2 years recruiting mercenaries to go and fight with Ukraine. This is somebody that should be held under the Homeland Security. This is someone who very well could be working for a foreign government. Exactly. A guy like this, when you're dealing with someone that is colluding with a foreign government, like we know he has been doing, a guy like this, you don't just get to take the Fifth Amendment and have some ACLU lawyer come over, and that's the end of it. How did he know President Trump's golf schedule? That's what I've been asking through the whole stream, Joe Zilla. How did he know President Trump was going to be there? That's right. They got him in MAGA Martin County. That's exactly right. That's right. And everyone investigating this assassination attempt, okay, the sheriff of Palm Beach County is a Democrat. The state's attorney is a Democrat. The FBI are in charge of the investigation from the Miami field office. Those are the people that broke into Mar-a-Lago and tossed the place, and went through Melania's closet, tossed Barron's room, took a picture of those documents on Trump's carpet. Those are the people in charge of the investigation. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Exactly. Democrats are in charge of the whole thing. Yeah. Now, those of you that are already subscribed, make sure you guys like the video if you don't mind. And let me do a check to see if we got anything else new. See what's going on here with this guy is a lot of things, but he's obviously been working with Ukraine, and he doesn't want Trump to end the war. That's it. Doesn't want Trump to end the war, which he'll do. This is all about Ukraine. And his posts have a foreign language on a lot of them. I don't know what the language is. I don't know what language that is. I don't know. If you guys have seen any of these posts, let me know. Because I don't know what it is. I'm not sure. Now, if you're new to my channel and this is first time watching, make sure you subscribe. I'm a radio talk show host. I live stream every day, and Monday through Friday, I live stream in the morning when I'm broadcasting on the radio, and I take live calls when I'm on the radio, which is what I'll be doing tomorrow morning. We're going to go over everything tomorrow morning on everything that's happened, whatever updates there are before I go on the air and during the program tomorrow, and I'm going to be taking all of your calls. Well, I love you too, Tiger. Thanks. And I'll be taking all of your calls talking about this. This is a big deal. This is a really big deal. This is what you've got to understand. The Secret Service have not fired their weapons off of White House property in anyone's lifetime. Maybe, I don't even know if ever before this. Okay? They didn't fire the weapons when Kennedy got shot or when Reagan got shot. The Secret Service have fired their weapons twice in 2 months. Now, the Secret Service have been involved in gunfire incidents on White House grounds, on the White House grounds itself, and also 74 years ago at the Blair House, which is the guest house of the White House. There was an attempt on the life of President Truman, but that was still White House property, White House grounds, the Blair House. These two times with President Trump in the last 2 months are the only two times that, and now you correct me if I'm wrong, I stand to be corrected. These are the only two times that I know of that the Secret Service have fired their weapons to protect a president off of the White House grounds, ever. And it's happened twice in 2 months. And this time to a guy who's doing work recruiting mercenaries for Ukraine. Come on. Come on. Exactly. Yeah, pray for President Trump. If you know, these polls over the weekend that came out, if the polls were not so strong in Trump's favor over the weekend, would this have happened? You know, I was watching a guy on YouTube this morning who does, he's not a political guy. He does a YouTube channel on photography and video. He's a videographer, he's a filmmaker, and a photographer. Not political. He's not even registered to vote. And he did a video talking about the lighting. Very detailed video on the lighting. I'm going to find that video because I watched it this morning, and I'll post it. Maybe I'll post it in my community section here on YouTube or on X. I'll see if I got to find the video. But he went through the lighting on David Muir, Kamala's sorority sister, Kamala, and Trump. And they gave, and he did lighting on his own face like they did on Trump, and then the lighting that they did on Kamala Harris. And they gave her glamour lighting, and a lot of it. And they gave him lighting that made him look evil. And they Dana Bash did the same thing to J.D. Vance on one of her interviews with her, the one that was in person. And I thought it was interesting because this guy's not a political person, and he was going through the lighting, and it just, these people are sick. And when this story of this second assassination on President Trump in 2 months, when this story broke, you could tell on MSNBC, CNN, and Arthel Neville on Fox, they were just pissed off. Pissed off because they know it makes him more sympathetic. That's why. Exactly. These are really sick, twisted, demented people. Now, if you're new, make sure you subscribe. Anything new break, Kathy, before I sign off here? I want to make sure I catch everything. There's a video of him that I've not listened to yet. Let me retweet it.
Please tell me who you are and why are you here?
56 from the U.S. From North Carolina originally, so live in Hawaii now. So
this is the assassin. This is the assassin from the golf course today. This just came out on X. I've not listened to this yet, okay?
Please tell me who you are and why are you here?
56 from the U.S. From North Carolina originally, so live in Hawaii now. So flew all the way from Hawaii here. So the question as far as why I'm here, to me, you know, a lot of the other conflicts are gray, but this conflict is definitely black.
He's in Ukraine, by the way. He's being interviewed by a Ukrainian.
Carolina originally, so live in Hawaii now. So flew all the way from Hawaii here. So the question as far as why I'm here, to me, you know, a lot of the other conflicts are gray, but this conflict is definitely black and white. This is about good versus evil. This is a storybook, you know, any movie we've ever watched, this is definitely evil against good. I mean, we're battling a situation here where, you know, the Ukrainians and the rest of the world are caring and kind and generous and unselfish and take care of one another, and it's just a matter of we need to stand up for that. That is the most important thing in the world, is just to show human beings that we're kind and we're caring and that we take care of one another and that the world is united so that we feed each other and make sure that, we all move forward as one collective whole unit.
Now, if you're just joining, this is the golf course assassin today. This is an interview he did in Ukraine. He's being interviewed by Ukrainians. And I don't know why they're interviewing him. I don't know. He was over in Kiev. He said bringing soldiers to fight for Ukraine with him.
So, we feel the pain of one country's failure and their conflicts, and we enjoy the successes of other countries that are doing good, and we all work together. And for some reason, Russia does not grasp this concept that we're all one unit. And we have to get along and work together and be normal human beings. This is 2022. We have to work together. It seems asinine that we have a leader in a country that does not understand the concept of being unselfish and being generous and being kind and just the basic moral values that are required by human beings these days. It blows my mind.
And what are you doing here in Ukraine?
My initial goal was to come fight. I think everybody around the globe should be motivated to come here and support the Ukrainians and support the army, no matter what gender, age, anything. Everybody should be here supporting the army. But I'm 56, so initially they were like, well, I have no military experience, so they're like, you're not an ideal candidate. So they said, not right this minute. So plan B was to come here to Kyiv and promote getting more people here. We need thousands and thousands and thousands of people here fighting with the Ukrainians. We need, we've got 190 countries around the world, and we need thousands from all of them. If the governments will not send their official military, then we civilians have to pick up the torch and make this thing happen. And we've gotten some wonderful people here, but it's a small fraction of the number that should be here.
Okay. There is no way in hell that a guy like this just ends up in Kiev after being at the U.S. Capitol, sitting down with some Ukrainian, organizing something. What are the chances this guy is like CIA, deep state? What do you guys think? 100% being positive. What would you say? 100%, 50%, 60%? I say 100% he's deep state. No way he's not. Yeah, 100%. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. Mm-hmm. That's right. 100%. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Someone said 90, 75, 99. Paid 100, 99. Yeah. Yeah. We may never know. And he also could be working for Ukraine at the same time. But obviously, his motivation is Trump's winning. Yep. Yeah. Most everybody says 100%. Mm-hmm. It's not a conspiracy theory. The guy's in Kiev bringing mercenaries over there. And he tried to shoot President Trump today. These aren't conspiracy theories. This is it. We're talking about what we know. What we know. And I'm here to tell you that it's not that easy to get over there and meet with all these government officials and get connected like he is. It's just not something that's easy to do. You have to be connected somehow to get in those kind of positions. He's got close. Yep. Yep. His Facebook page has been taken down. And they took down his Facebook page, but luckily a lot of people have gotten the screenshots. Okay, listen to this.
The suspect in what is now being investigated as a second attempted assassination of former President Trump has been identified. Authorities say his name is Ryan Wesley Routh. He allegedly poked his muzzle of his AK-47 style rifle through a chain link fence as he was hiding in the bushes of former President Trump's golf course at West Palm Beach, Florida. That's when an agent saw it and opened fire. The Trump campaign releasing the statement just after 2 o'clock this afternoon. President Trump is safe following gunshots in his vicinity. No further details at this time. Those gunshots, we now know, were fired by that Secret Service agent. Routh, now in custody.
Routh is how you pronounce his name? Routh? Looks like Roth to me. He says Routh. And it's now being reported that he has donated to Democrats about 20 times. Benny Johnson. Trump's attempted assassin, Ryan Routh's political contributions show 19 contributions exclusively to Democrats since 2019. Isn't that something? You got to feel bad for President Trump and his family. You really do. I mean, and an AK-47, man, that's pretty hardcore. But President Trump has escaped his second assassin in 2 months. Just, you're going to see what the media are going to do with this. They're going to try to make it go away. And, the media had this narrative going over the weekend. They thought they had a couple. Now, I guess we know how they started with a couple. They had 3 things that they were going to run with, the media, tomorrow, that this just wiped out. One, the I hate Taylor Swift post on Truth. They were going to continue to pursue this Haitian thing in Ohio. And what was the third? I forgot what the third one was. They had a third thing they were going to run with. Let's see. Taylor Swift, the Haitians. Oh yeah, Laura Loomer. They were trying to start this fake line narrative. Bill Maher started this, accusing Trump of having an affair with Laura Loomer, which I know 100% is not true. You can take my word on that. There's no way that's true. And Loomer immediately went to Twitter and was talking about defamation by Bill Maher. Would she be doing that? Of course not. And now all that's wiped out because they tried to kill President Trump again. And they're plenty pissed. They had these 3 things they were going to start running with on Monday, in particular the Loomer stuff. Yeah, and they were going to try to use the Taylor Swift to try to turn young people against him. Now this wipes it all out. Jack, $2 super chat. Thanks so much, Jack. Greatly appreciated. But let me take a look here. Hold on. I'm just doing a quick glance to see if I have missed anything. They had a lot of cars come out to take him off the road. They surrounded him and forced him off the road with quite a few cars. No getting around that. And I thought Kamala's statement was, let me see if I can find what her statement was. Let's see. She had a really weak statement, Kamala. They showed it on TV. Let me see, hold on. Let me see here. I don't spend too much time looking at her Twitter. I don't follow her. This is Kamala Harris's statement. I've been briefed on reports of gunshots fired near former President Trump and his property in Florida, and I'm glad he is safe. Violence has no place in America. Well, we now know it was, in fact, an assassination attempt. She sounds very heartbroken. Unbelievable. Now, make sure that if you're new, you subscribe. I will be live in the morning taking calls, covering the latest and all the latest developments as of then. If you're already subscribed, if you could do me the favor of liking the video, I'd appreciate it. All right, guys, I'm going to take off for tonight, but I'll see you in the morning. My name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Thanks, everyone, for watching and joining me. And everyone who's new to my channel, welcome. And thanks for watching, and thanks for subbing. I'll see you next time. Take care.